from the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Lee Jeffries. Soccer season is officially over, volleyball season is officially over, and field hockey season is officially over. And what does that mean, Bella?
That means it's officially winter sports season. We have wrestling, gymnastics, and not to mention basketball starting conference play. I'm Bella Geskos. Thanks for joining us. So let's jump right in with basketball, starting conference play against Florida State. The Heels were coming off putting up 100. Yes, you heard that correctly. 100 points on number 10 Tennessee, but UNC looked shaky in the first 25 minutes of play. Florida State was hot with threes with standout Jameer Watkins, while UNC's were missing the mark. Down by 6 at the half and 14 early in the second, Carolina tried something new, bringing full court pressure for the first time this season. The Diamond pressure brought steals and a big run led by RJ Davis, Elliot Cadeau, and Seth Trimble to tie the game. Composure at the free throw line and making 9 of the 11 final baskets as layups or dunks brought the Heels a 78-70 victory. And game highs for Davis and Trimble at 27 and 24 points.
Also, myself, Cormac, and Elliot were able to, and Seth, were able to fly around and be in the passing lanes to get deflections and steals.
And that's exactly what I wanted to see, was some life. And for whatever reason, that press got us going.
Let's send it over to our basketball analyst, Landon Elliott, with our new Sports Extra segment, In the Lane with Landon. Landon?
Bella, what's better than one person guarding someone? Two people guarding someone. In the second half, UNC basketball ran the full court press defense almost to perfection. They were scoring so quickly, they were running up points like they were playing the game tempo run. This team got back in the game quickly, and the trap defense was the answer to their early woes. Now, I'm going to show you examples of both the bad plays from their full court press and the good plays. We're going to start off with the bad. Here we're going to have Cormac Ryan, Harrison Ingram, double the man very well, but here Florida State's going to try to get this ball over the half-court line, and it's going to be a jump ball. Armando Baycott's going to have a shot at it, but here's the bad thing. If you miss, there's going to be an easy 2-on-1 on the other side of the court. But if you get it, that's going to be an easy layup for the other team. So we're going to see Florida State grabs it. It's going to be an easy 2-on-1, and this is just going to be an easy dunk for the offense of Florida State. And that's what happens when you have bad trap defense. This next play, we're going to see it again. Harrison Ingram, Elliot Cadeau, trap the man in the corner, perfectly designed. It's going to be another jump ball. And Elliot Cadeau right here is going to pretend like he's a DB playing football. And he's going to catch, RJ Davis is going to catch this ball, set up the offense perfectly. And that's a great example of how to do it well, that full court press. And here we're going to see it again. Florida State's man, he either slips, falls, injures. I don't know what it is. But either way, RJ Davis is going to grab it, get an easy 2 points in the lane, and that is just successful defense. That's how you do it. And here, we're going to have, this is a great example of how you stay aggressive even in transition. This is what that full court press does. It keeps you very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. And here we're going to have this Florida State guy go in transition. He thinks he's got a layup, but RJ Davis and Cormac Ryan are right there to stop him. Cormac Ryan's going to have a great defensive play. RJ Davis passes it up for Seth Trimble, and the easy layup on the other end. The trap defense and the full court press doesn't work every time, like I said. If one guy's left open, he's going to be off to the races to the basket. This strategy needs to be implemented at the right time, and Hubert Davis and his staff did just that in the second half. Look for the Tar Heels to use this in the future to help bring momentum into a game when they get off to a sluggish start. It will probably not be the last time the Heels be down early. Look for that full court press in the future. Bella?
Landon, the team just played in their first ACC match. What do you think their ceiling is?
Bella, I'm seeing potential. Potential is a word you use when you see something in somebody, but they're not there yet. The Heels have work to do. However, winning is the ultimate goal, and UNC finds creative ways to win. Just like they did Saturday, they'll continue to stay hot.
Hopefully this team can reach their potential, or we are in for another heartbreak season. Thanks, Landon.
The men's soccer team took on Oregon State in the Elite Eight on Saturday with hopes to advance to the Final Four. It was a slow start with misfires like these as both teams struggled. Oregon State struck the back of the net with this cutback and crossed it in off the foot of Bicho Castro to Dante Williams that fades to the top corner with less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Despite 6 shots in the second half, the Heels couldn't find the equalizer, looking for an answer. This service from the corner led to a ball pushed to the top of the box and a shot over the top nearing the end of the game. Tar Heels fall 1-0 to the Beavers, ending their season in title hopes.
Tragically, that's one of those games where it's like, oh man, you could take so much from that and just take us to another level, because you need some of those moments to grow and push yourself. But we don't, unfortunately, you don't get that opportunity.
To hear about the end of season heartbreak, let's go to Caroline's Corner with men's soccer analyst Caroline Routh for one last time this season.
Lee, the men's soccer team might not have claimed the title of GOAT or MVP this fall sports season, but they are absolutely the most improved program. They were underdogs coming into the season, but with the addition of grad transfers Martin Vitchian, Viman Holvik, and Quincy Ehrman, UNC's offense was elevated, and men's soccer became a force to be reckoned with. Despite who they brought to the table, the Heels fell short, and let's see how. Over here, we're going to see Oregon State drive to the sideline, and you look right here, they get this ball off between 3 UNC defenders who are just standing there watching the ball slip between them up for an open goal for Oregon State. UNC down 1-0. Now, a 1-0 lead is a narrow margin. Oregon State knows they can't give up anything, and UNC had some attacking chances, but none quite fell. Let's see one right here. UNC's going to throw the ball in, but we see a lackluster attempt to crash into the box. Oregon State is able to clear the ball out, and Oregon State finishes the game off. Ehrman, one of our leading scorers, gets a red card in the 86th minute, which was a nail in the coffin to the Tar Heel season and his college career. A 1-0 loss isn't bad, but when your season is on the line, it's all it takes to end it. Lee?
Caroline, zooming out to the season as a whole, if you could give this team a grade on their performance, what would it be?
Well, let's start with the numbers. UNC finished with a record of 11-4-7, compared to their last season record of 8-6-5. Now, 7 draws is a lot, don't get me wrong, but 4 losses, including 1 being in the Elite 8, now that's something the program can be proud of. No one expected the men's soccer team to be this good. This was a season of growth, a season of progress, and this was a season for the underdogs. I'm going to give them an A-.
I'm going to have to agree with that A-. There's still room for improvement, but it was definitely a season of growth for this team. Thanks, Caroline.
While the UNC women's soccer team season is over, 2 of their own were recognized on the United Soccer Coaches All-American third team. Carolina's senior forward co-captain Avery Patterson was honored as she had 9 goals on the season and a few assists, including this one to Emily Colton against Miami. The other honoree is none other than redshirt sophomore Ali Sentnor. Sentnor, who was also named ACC Midfielder of the Year, led the team with 11 goals, including 4 in the NCAA tournament alone and 5 game winners throughout the year. This marks the first time either player has earned an All-America nod.
Let's kick it over to our women's soccer analyst, Caroline Daly, for one last Soccer on the Daily to give us her thoughts on a game for the team this season. Caroline?
Thanks, guys. I had an amazing time covering women's soccer this season. Throughout the season, I would give the team a B because they were undefeated until the ACC tournament. Their offense dominated, led by Ali Sentnor and Avery Patterson. Sentnor had 11 goals and 29 points, while Patterson had 9 goals and 20 points. And their defense gave up multiple goals only 3 times this season. The reason I brought them down to a B is because of their program record 8 ties. This was a pattern for the Heels, and it showed that they couldn't finish big games, which came back to bite them in the playoffs. That is when their grade moved down even more for me to a C-, because the Heels failed the final exam, which was the NCAA quarterfinal game against BYU, where they blew a 3-0 lead and lost 4-3. This team had championship expectations that they didn't live up to. Bella, Lee?
A C- is a harsh grade, but Bella, do you agree with that?
I sadly do. This program has 22 national championships. They should have won it last year, and they choked again this year. It's unacceptable.
I'm going to have to agree with that C- range. Like Caroline said, when it came to the quarterfinals, their final test, they just didn't show out.
They couldn't get through it. But moving on, let's go to football analyst Rachel Kivlin and Routes with Rachel for her grade on this past season.
Another promise-filled season ending with a resounding thud. The Tar Heels had the potential to be great with the generational talent in Drake May and offensive stars like Omarion Hampton and Taz Walker. Carolina was ranked 10th nationally in October with their best chance in decades. Only what followed was a 2-4 finish and a crippling loss against NC State by a demoralizing 19-point margin. The Heels did well on the pretest and aced the midterm, but at the end of the day, you don't pass the class if you fail the final. And the UNC football team failed the 2023 final, which is why I give them a D+. You don't pass the class and make it to the top with a good offense, but porous defenses and bad play calling.
Ouch. Lee, what are your thoughts on that one?
I'm going to have to agree with that D+. I think the only highlight was barely beating Duke, but other than that, the rest of the season was disappointing.
The start of the season looked so good for us, and then it just
kept going down. Exactly. Next up in the grade book, volleyball, here's Ashley Humphrey and Aces with Ashley.
UNC volleyball really had no expectations going into the season with a brand new head coach and a mediocre past few years. This program is definitely still under construction under head coach Mike Shaw. They finished with a 13-14 record, but they made significant improvements as they finished the season with a win against our rivals Duke and Wake Forest after previously losing to them. They also took the number 25 Florida State team to 5 sets and knocked off a set from the number 7 Louisville team. Both Mabry Schaffmaster and Sydney Nolan were voted on to receive ACC honors, and for this reason, I'm giving the team a B-.
Bella, what do you think about that volleyball grade?
I don't mind it. It's first-year head coach. They didn't play horrible. They had a great end of the season. It was definitely a building year, but I like the grade.
I agree with that. We had a lot of great transfers come in, a lot of great freshmen, so I'm excited to see how next season goes.
I completely agree with you. And our final team to grade for the fall, field hockey. Here's future UNC ball boy and Aaron Matson groupie Riley Kennedy inside the cage. No way this grade can be lower than an A, right?
Bella, that was crazy, but now a lot of people doubted this team. The media, people at the university, no Aaron Matson on the field. Meredith Shoulder-Lees, Maddie Orobono left, Ashley Sessa left, no Karen Schellenreit, she retired. Now, every year you have a new group, and you have to work with what you have. Now, it didn't matter. How about someone that no one talks about? Kelly Smith, right? Breaks her wrist in the ACC championship game, doesn't play at all in the NCAA tournament. She's one of the best backs in the ACC, if not the whole NCAA. Second team All-ACC, second in the ACC for defensive saves with 4. UNC did it without her. Now, Grace Pottebaum, the freshman, steps in for her. Charlie Bruder, ACC Freshman of the Year. This team defined the odds with the youngest coach in Division I sports, won a national championship on their home field, a special group, a talented group. Sienna said it on Tuesday, prove the country wrong. They proved the country wrong. And with that, I give that a grade of an A. Now, Dean Smith once said, UNC isn't a basketball school, it's a women's soccer school. That was then. Now it's a field hockey school, and 2 sisters have helped pave the way.
Romay and Sienna Ricardo are part of UNC field hockey history. Although they're from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, it's no surprise that they both ended up at North Carolina to play Division I field hockey, given the success of Karen Shelton during her 42-year run as head coach. Having that sister connection definitely helped them on the field.
We were able to have the harder conversations that some people couldn't have with each other.
A lot of times it's like nonverbal too, like we don't even have to say anything, I just know what she's gonna do next.
In the postseason, Sienna transitioned into the center back position. As this was a whole new role for her, Romay did everything she could to instill confidence in her sister.
Getting thrown into it didn't really feel like getting thrown into it after the first few practices we had, because we know each other so well, we've played together our whole lives.
Romay will be graduating in December, after the field hockey program secured its 11th national championship title, the 5th for Romay, and the 3rd title the sisters have earned together.
Not a lot of people can say they've played in college with their sister, but let alone like be able to win 3 national championships together is a pretty cool thing that we can say and take with us and tell our kids and our grandkids for the rest of our lives that we're bonded for life with all those championships. Not only that we're sisters, but that we were able to win 3 of them together.
Now, Sienna has 1 more season left, so she won't be able to match Romay's 5, but there's a 4th for sure. That would be nice. Now we have Romay in studio. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Now, it's been 2 weeks since the national championship game. How are you taking it all in? How do you feel?
It's incredible. I don't think anyone thought that we'd be here right now winning a national championship just because of kind of the start that we had with a couple of tough losses in overtime and just not really performing at our best throughout the season. But really excited and happy that I was able to end my career with a national championship.
Yeah, of course. Now, Erin obviously was her first year as coach. You guys kind of grew up together, right, a little bit? How was it more like a player-led team? How was Erin different than Coach Schellen, obviously?
Definitely when the process started, we were like, we didn't want much change, and Erin kind of came in helping with not really changing much, but definitely adding her spice into what she kind of wanted within the program. She changed the locker room a little bit. She added some drills that she had done growing up. So just adding Erin's kind of spice into the team.
I heard you guys run a lot with Erin. I heard that too.
Yeah, definitely going in to the spring. Erin wasn't there the first month, but we kind of got right into fitness right when Erin took over the head coaching job. And that kind of helped us throughout our season because fitness is something that I think has driven us better than other teams because of how fit we are. Right. So definitely that's helped us throughout the season.
Now you have 6 ACC championships, 5 NCAA championships. That's 11. You don't even have enough for your fingers.
I started putting them on my toes.
What is the next thing for you?
Not really sure kind of where my next steps are right now. Just trying to still soak in this championship. I graduate in like a week and a half, which I'm really excited about.
That's crazy.
Yeah, never thought it would happen, but sadly it has to happen sometime.
6 years has to come to an end.
Yeah, eventually. But I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out and navigating that, but just trying to soak up these last few days and weeks here at Carolina.
Of course, Chapel Hill is a special place for May. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Lee, over to you.
Despite a late season collapse, the football team is going bowling. The postings and pairings are out. And the Tar Heels will be back in Charlotte to play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl December 27th against West Virginia. The Heels lost 2 years ago to South Carolina in the 2021 Mayo Bowl, but they're hoping for a better result this time around against the Mountaineers. It will be up to Drake May and the offense. 20 points isn't enough to win games, as we saw in the Heels' 2 previous games, and the Mountaineers are a strong opponent with 3 of their 4 losses coming at the hands of ranked opponents. Obviously, we love college sports, so let's take a look at what it takes to become a collegiate athlete. Here's Bethany Pryor with the family angle of the recruiting process.
Millions of people watch college football, but what many people don't see is the recruiting process and what the athletes go through to even have a chance at playing the sport they love at the collegiate level.
Watching players go to colleges and always getting scholarships to play and just continue playing the sport I love and just try to work my best to keep playing it.
Jackson Pryor, a 6'5" tight end from Boone, North Carolina, committed to Furman University to continue his football career. However, nothing came easy. Jackson spent his entire high school career preparing for the chance to continue playing the sport he loves.
Freshman year, I was 6 foot tall, real skinny, not that athletic. Going to sophomore year, I grew to 6'5", was gangly, wasn't very athletic, but growing into my body, going into junior year, I started to play more offense, get more playing time, and my coaches started to realize I had the opportunities to make an impact on the field.
Jackson was inspired by his dad, John Pryor, who played football as a tight end at Appalachian State University after serving 4 years in the Marine Corps.
I mean, it's nice having people that have done it before, He knows what it takes to play football at the next level, and he's always been there to help guide me in that direction.
Jackson's parents encouraged him to not only focus on football, but to play other sports as well. His pure athleticism and drive is what stood him apart from other prospective recruits.
Yeah, coaches always told me that if they have a tight end that doesn't play basketball, that's a red flag. If you're tall, if you're big, why aren't you playing basketball?
Jackson had multiple offers. However, Furman was the place Jackson felt he could call home.
I mean, it's a great program, great coaching staff, great players, just the relationships that they have is special there.
Jackson has dreamed of playing football since he could talk. It is exciting for all the people around him to watch as he achieves his dreams. I'm Bethany Pryor, reporting.
In case you didn't catch the connection, Jackson is Bethany's not-so-little brother.
Part of UNC's swimming and diving team competed at the Big Al Invitational in Princeton this past weekend. The women's 200 freestyle relay placed first, led by Elizabeth Swords, who scored 48 points for the team. On the men's side, their best finish was also in the 200 free relay, with UNC finishing second. From double leg amputation to double gold in Tokyo, Morgan Stickney's remarkable journey continues a new race for her life as she gears up for Paris 2024.
There is no name for Morgan Stickney's disease. She's one of 2 people in America with the condition, and yet...
Morgan Stickney, though, but she is quick, and Lakeisha Patterson's world record, maybe we're looking that low.
She's inside! 4:54.28. She has smashed it as she brings it home for Team USA. What a swim! It's Stickney in lane 5, and the USA claims the gold.
Morgan had no idea she was suffering from a rare disease when doctors amputated her leg back in 2018.
I was in so much pain, and doctors basically told me either you would live in pain like this for the rest of your life and never be able to use the leg again. So I got a really bad infection in my first leg. Essentially, all my bones turned to like marshmallows. So there was no way to heal those bones except remove them. We never thought I would lose my second leg. My surgeon and entire medical team would always be like, no, this was the end of it. And obviously it wasn't. And even now, it's still not the end of it.
This is the pool where Morgan Stickney trains, Titan Aquatic Club in Cary. This is what Morgan calls her sanctuary.
When I'm in the pool, I don't think about anything that I'm going through. So it's kind of just like my time during the day to pretend that nothing in my life like exists outside of swimming. I truly just love swimming. I love working hard and pushing my body to the max every day. And people always ask me, oh, how long are you gonna swim? And it's always until my body will allow me, because I truly love the sport.
Back in New Hampshire, where it all started for Stickney, her coach, Brian Crawford, recounted her dedication.
She went 2 seasons without missing a practice, and she came through whatever. She rearranged everything in her life to come, and that was what was important to her. She was kind of like a very little girl in an older body, so she would listen to you very intensely.
After becoming a bilateral amputee, Morgan moved down to Cary to train under John Payne.
Regardless of all the things that she has going on and will continue to have going on, she keeps her goals in front of her and pursues those regardless of all of that stuff.
With no cure, she's been traveling to and from Boston to receive what she calls a Band-Aid treatment.
It's very similar to chemotherapy in the sense that I have all the same side effects, where, I'm continually vomiting and nauseous and just don't feel good. They believe that it will eventually shut down my organs. My coach always says, you don't have to feel good to race fast.
Morgan Stickney confirmed as the world champion and new world record holder for USA.
Morgan hopes to break her own world record in the 400-meter freestyle, and she'll have a special cheering squad.
I feel like I have a really unique relationship with all of my doctors and PAs and nurses and everything. I'm very excited for Paris because 3 of my doctors are going to be going.
She hopes they get to hear this.
Morgan believes a bone marrow transplant could possibly save her life, but she won't go through with that procedure until after the Paralympics.
The UNC gymnastics team started the season with a blue-white inter-squad scrimmage before heading into the first year of ACC conference play. The energy last night was electric. With in-conference competition, the Heels are going to a new level. On vault, Isabel Schaefer was the star of the show with a perfect landing. Next, the uneven bars are always eventful, and Bella Miller showed that. Jess Naranjo on the beam always brings the energy, and Carolina floor routines never disappoint, especially Kaya Forbes. The Gym Heels start their season January 5th against Ball State, Rutgers, and Utah State.
Fiona Crawley and Team USA advanced to the finals of the Masters U Tennis Championship Saturday after beating France 6-1. Crawley won her singles match 7-6, 6-3, and teamed up in doubles with Savannah Bordas to win 9-8. On Championship Sunday, Crawley again won her singles match, this time against NC State foe Amelia Rajecki. The last time these two played, Rajecki knocked out Crawley out of the round of 16 in the NCAA singles tournament. This time, Crawley won 6-2, 6-love. Team USA claimed the Masters U title for the 4th time in a row, sweeping Great Britain 5-love.
When the football team travels to Charlotte, a unique athlete will join them. Olivia Stone has the story.
Many people are familiar with baton twirling, but only a few have ever tried it. But for Julia Archiola, baton twirling is a lifestyle. Starting at only 5 years old, many people would have a reason as to why they started the sport.
And my parents just tell me that I'm from Florida originally, so it's really hot. And they tried to put me in every sport possible, but outdoor sports weren't necessarily my forte.
Although Julia has only been here for 1 season, she already has plenty of great memories.
I think everyone was a little bit confused when I started to take the batons out of this metal case and then just hold up a lighter, but when I lit them, the student section went absolutely crazy.
Julia has a great support system, including her fiance, who unfortunately goes to Duke, but he still goes to every Carolina home game to watch her.
I almost feel like I have to be undercover when I'm going to games, especially because we're almost always sitting around entirely UNC fans.
Game day is hectic for everyone in Chapel Hill, including Julia. She wakes up at 4:30 to do hair and makeup, then chooses her favorite outfit for the long day ahead.
I do 3 performances. I'll do the team arrival performance, I'll do a pit performance, and then I'll do a Wilson Library performance, and then the whole band will parade to the stadium for pregame, and then I'll do halftime and some timeouts during the game.
And now Julia is going to teach me some of her skills. All right, go ahead and hold it out. Flip it over. Use your top hand to push it over. And yeah. Very nice. I'm sticking to Sports Extra. I'm Olivia Stone reporting.
Speaking of fire, we have some fire top 10 plays for the semester.
Each week we choose a play of the week, and here are our top 10 of the semester. Starting at number 10 is Omarion Hampton's 68-yard rushing touchdown against the Mountaineers at the start of the season. This touchdown put the Heels up 7-3 to begin a very long double overtime game against App State.
At play number 9, Tez Walker made this insane 56-yard catch, his second of 3 touchdowns, securing the win against Miami in one of his first games back.
At 8, we have UNC hockey player Chandler Kotsios smooth scoring in the match against ECU. Kotsios dangles past defenders to bury the puck in the goal.
Next, for play number 7, we have this game-winning goal from senior Katie Dixon on senior night against Duke to give the field hockey team a bye in the first round of the ACC tournament.
At 6, we have this 46-yard touchdown pass from Drake May to wide receiver Nate McCullum to give the Heels their first points on the board in their first game against Minnesota.
Now entering our top 5, UNC goalie Andrew Cortez makes an impressive PK save in the men's soccer Sweet 16 match against Hofstra.
At number 4, the most outstanding player of the Field Hockey Championship game, Maddie Kahn kept the Heels alive in the shootout with this heart-stopping kick save, one of her 3 saves in the title-clinching win.
At number 3, we have this LeBron-like dunk from Seth Trimble in the men's basketball game against UC Riverside.
In second place, we have Kobe Pasor's beautiful 76-yard touchdown off a bobble one-handed catch in the second half of the game against Syracuse.
And finally, at our number 1 spot, a play that also earned SportsCenter's top play of the week, Riley Heck scores against Duke off this crazy air dribble, winning her second ACC championship against the Blue Devils. And those are our top 10 plays of the semester.
We now welcome back Romay Ricardo. Romay, out of those, what was your favorite?
I may be a little bit biased, but definitely Riley Heck, air dribbling over the goalie, is definitely my top play.
It was an insane goal. Right, Lee?
Thank you so much for joining us. It was insane, and it was truly a great 2023 with 2 teams winning Jordan Year National Championships. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra in 2023. We'll be back in January.